Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I'm working on my 100-day project. This one is day 20 and it is somewhere just outside of Yakima, Washington. It's actually a rest stop, but my phone identified the location as Yakima. If you can hear the dogs, I'm really sorry. They're barking at somebody that just came in the house. Anyway. My goodness, those dogs don't know how to not bark. Anyways, the reason I took a picture at a rest stop was because of the sign. And I'll include a photo along with the art after this particular day. So you can see, I guess, my collaging is very simplified from what there is. And how do you collage pathways? I mean, I can barely draw, like, paint pathways to make them look like they're going in the distance, but how do you collage that? And I had this little strip of brown, so I decided I was going to collage this brown. So now it's going to look like paved, right? Because it's all these lines going across. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, this is out in, it's kind of deserty or arid area. There were a few trees, a little bit of greenery, and lots of gravel. I'm trying to remember now. I gotta look at my photo. It might have been greener than I'm remembering, because my collage looks very deserty, doesn't it? But I am still on pace for my 100-day project. I'm not currently behind, which is good. And just about 1/4 of the way through. I know you're seeing these probably much later than I created the pieces, but I am getting caught up on my film editing too, so hopefully by the time the 100 days is done, I will have done all the videos for the 100 days. That's the plan anyway. So now I'm sticking a couple of trees. I think I like the round circle trees. I tried to do a pine in a couple other collages, and they just look like strange triangular blobs. I don't know. And I'm not used to having to talk all the way through everything. Trying not to use the music, because then I get like a copyright hit. So I have to talk. And I'm not a chatty person. Alright, so got a little bit of greenery on there and the two trees. And then I'm just gonna, oh yes, we gotta put in the sign. This is the reason I took the picture, was because of the sign. And I know rattlesnakes are out there. It just struck me funny. So now I've got to make those look like trees. Sorry. And yeah. Do a little shading, hopefully get the pathway to look a little bit better. And putting an outline around my sign. I think that one's about done. Just activate the Stabilo. It always looks really dark when I do it, but it lightens up so much. Trying to give depth to my trees. And there we have it. There we go, the close-up, and yeah, there's the landscape. Alright, so the next one, we are on day 21. Now this one is a view of the, I guess, is it a harbor? Anyways, the view of the water from Fort Casey on Whidbey Island. And actually it was really misty and foggy. I think it might have been early in the day, and you couldn't really see the water. It was really foggy. I didn't know how to represent that in paper, and I didn't want to put white paper down, so I found the lightest blue that I had and put that down for the water. There's actually, it's near, you can see the ferry go across to Port Townsend from there. Is that the Keystone Ferry? I can't remember. Anyways, and hunting for some green, I found this great green paper that had all kinds of specks, so I love the texture of that. Just looks like it might have been painted landscape on purpose. And this one is pretty quick, like a pretty simple one. There was a flower in the photo, so I added a little flower, a white flower, to my page. I have to let it dry. It really starts curling on me with that glue stick. And then adding the shading. And you'd think it was Grand Central Station with all the ringing of my phone. Really sorry about that. I should turn the ringing off. But then I might miss something. Something important. So yeah, now I'm already to the shading. What do you know? Sometimes these pictures just paint themselves. If you find the right one, the right papers. Trying to emphasize that little mountain that almost looks like sky out there. And trying to put a stem on the flower. Just a couple of drops of the Stabilo, so it just doesn't look like a circle of paper. My pen's not working too well on that paper. So a little bit of China marker just to add some dark across there. I feel like I need contrast. Some of these don't have enough contrast. And there we go. Day 21. Okay, my next one is actually a scene in New Zealand. So the location on my phone said Upper Hutt, Kaitoke, New Zealand. I can't even think of what port I was in. I don't know why it's not coming to me. I could go look in my journal. I did take notes in my journal, but we were driving back. Well, do I even remember where I was going when I saw this? Anyways, we were driving back from somewhere, and off in the distance were some cows that were like black and white, or brown and white. Like they had a white band in the middle and they were dark on both sides. I don't think I'd ever seen a cow that looked like that. So I tried to take a picture with my phone. It's really blurry. You can't see it. I mean, I did look up these cows. I see them. They just say they're normal cows. Cows around here are solid. They're like black or brown. Like, they don't look like these cows. Anyway, so that's the whole reason I took the picture. And I wanted to get my landscape right, so I didn't want to start at the top. Like, I've been starting at the top and then layering my way down, which helps to cover up any white bits that I don't want showing. Or whatever. Anyway, so I'm starting from the bottom going up, but this way I have to like glue the papers together before I actually glue them to my substrate. So it was a little bit more awkward, but that's what I wanted to do. And I didn't want a light blue sky, so I went for this dark paper. So it's an interesting sky. So I decided my trees didn't have to be green. Some of them are going to be blue. Because maybe they're in more shadow than others. Oh, I found... Okay, so I googled the breeds of cattle. It's a belted Galloway. I will, I don't know. It's just weird. Do you want to see a picture? I'll share. Yeah, so here they are. I hadn't seen them before. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, so that's why I took the picture. But it was in my phone, so I'm adding it to my 100 days of landscape collage. And I almost forgot to add the cows. Got to stick those in. They're little brown pieces of paper out there in the field. And then just going around. Did a little shading. Maybe to make it look a little bit like dusk. It's getting dark. And then shading all my layers, putting some shadows under the cows. There was a path behind this fence, and that's what I was trying to do. There's a little fence. That's what the poles are for. And I should wait for things to dry before I go to the next step. But when you're having to do this every single day, time matters. Got to get it done, and that had a lot of stuff on it. Just trying to darken underneath all those poles. A little bit more under my cows. They almost look like they're just rocks out there. I thought I'd do a little white with the gel pen in it. Like, that piece of paper was still damp with the glue stick and the water and everything, and it came right off. So we gotta attach a new pole. Line it up with the shadow underneath. And I don't know that the white pen, maybe in the close-up you'll be able to see it. There's a lot of stuff going on in that particular picture. I think that's why I kept adding the dark, to try and put some order to it. But here we go. day number 22. And the next one is day 23. Another one. This one was actually, I started pulling pictures out of photo albums. So they're mine, but they're not in my phone anymore. And this one is actually Waikiki Beach, Salem, Massachusetts. You like that dramatic pause? Yeah. I know it is because I took a picture of the sign that says Waikiki Beach, Salem, MA. Yeah, so a long time ago, I don't know, several years ago, I went to Salem with my friend. And I'm always looking for lighthouses. I love lighthouses. So that's why I took this picture. And I like how this one turned out too. This one's one of my favorites, and maybe it's because it's moody and it's got a lighthouse in it. What's not to love, right? So I'm fusing two pieces together to make them 3 inches across. There we go. And I did stack the others because I wanted to make sure I got everything in. I didn't want to cut it off on the bottom. And there goes that one. So the only thing left is the lighthouse, and it's going to be sitting out here on this rock. It's actually a peninsula, but my light color didn't go that far, so on that particular piece of paper, so I ended up darkening kind of the edge, so it's got that green. But yeah, I let that dry for a little bit, and I think, yeah, I sketch out the framework of my little lighthouse. And I put it right up the seam so that it covered up most of the seam of the two pieces of paper. And then, of course, adding this to below creates some good shading, especially on the lighthouse. Makes it look round when I water it down, or wet it. Activate it? Is that the way to say it? And yeah, I really like that green paper in the foreground. It looks like, you know, little mounds with water going around it. And that was just, I think that was just cleaning up of a gel plate that had the grungy stuff around the edges. Yeah, this is the last one for the day. I hope you liked those. If you did, leave me a comment, thumbs up. Tell me which one's your favorite. I think the lighthouse is my favorite. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day.